Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Rez. In this video, I want to talk about what my probably first build is going to be in Wonderlands. I'm probably going to do a combination of Spell Shot and Graveborn, and I'll probably start with Spell Shot as my main class, since you can kind of just, multi-class into the other 5 classes that are going to be in the game. Spell Shot just seems to be all around one of the better characters, in my opinion. Obviously, when the game launches, that might be completely wrong, but I just like the way their builds work and everything. But I think pairing it with the Graveborn, you're going to be able to do some really cool things. Now, the interesting part is that I'm honestly going to be taking more Graveborn skills than I am Spell Shot skills, due to the fact of the way I kind of think this build might work out, but you'll understand more as I get into this. So first things first, I'm actually going to be taking the action skill Ambihextrous, and this reads, the Spell Shot may equip a spell in their action skill slot. Whenever the Spell Shot presses the action skill button, they cast a spell. So essentially, you now just cast 2 spells. Instead of having an action skill, you basically just have 2 spell slots, literally. Also, this is going to work really well with the Spell Shot's feat. So Spell Weaving, casting a spell or reloading a weapon grants the Spell Shot a stack of Spell Weaving, increasing the spell damage. Spell Weaving stacks automatically decay after a few seconds. Casting a repeating spell has a chance to award additional Spell Weaving stacks with each repeated cast. So essentially, the more you cast spells and the more you reload, the more Spell Weaving stacks you're going to get, and the more Spell Weaving stacks you have, the more damage your spells are going to do. Now, the Dim Leech feat is just that it has the companion, and whenever you do cast a spell, the companion will also cast a spell of their own, or Hellish Blast as it's called, and it creates basically a home projectile that seeks out. So it would be cool if it synergizes where the Demi Leech casts their thing, you also get a Spell Weaving stack. I highly doubt that's how it's going to work though, but if it does, that'd be really cool. But either way, just casting spells is going to give you stacks, and your companion's also going to be casting stuff around. But getting up into the actual skills now, this is where everything is going to get really crazy. Now, the first skill I'm going to take is Essence Drain. Now, this is specifically when I hit level 40 and have a in-game build. This is not the leveling build that I'm going to do, because obviously if I'm making a Spell Shot, I'm going to have to go down the Spell Shot skill tree, but I'm going to be taking Essence Drain. So whenever I get a kill, I'm going to get 25% spell cooldown rate. This build is going to heavily focus on cooldown rate for your spells. This duration does last for 12 seconds. So you can pretty much have a constant 25% spell cooldown rate, which is going to be really good, because obviously that's going to give you more spell weaving stacks to get more damage. Now, the next skill tree I'm going to go into is Sanguine Sacrum right here. So whenever the Fate Maker casts a spell, they regenerate 10% health over 2 seconds. This will go up to 30% health, but you're going to regenerate a lot of health over a very small amount of time. And since you're going to be casting spells everywhere, this is where a lot of your healing is going to come from. Now, to get to the next skill tree, you need 2 more points. So I'm just going to put 2 in Dark Pact right here, so you get some more dark magic damage. We'll get back to this one in a second. But now I'm going to put 5 points in Stain of the Soul. So spells deal 20% bonus dark magic damage. So now every spell I use is going to also be doing dark magic damage, which is really good, because basically this is now making my spells do different elements. Dark magic is the one that heals you. So since your spells are doing dark magic damage, you're getting healed, and then since you're casting spells, you're getting healed. So you're gonna have a lot of survivability with this build, which is throwing spells everywhere. Now, I'm gonna take 3 points in Ascension right here. So this is a kill skill. When you get a kill, you get 6% maximum health and spell damage. It can stack up to 10 times. So you'll get 60% more health and spell damage. And this is, again, is a kill skill, so this is going to stack with your cooldown rate and stuff like that, and you're going to be able to just do a bunch of damage with this. Now, I do need a couple more points to get back down, so I'm going to go back up to Dark Pact and put some points in here. So now I have even more dark magic damage. But then we have access to the other 2 skills, but honestly, these don't really do too much with the build I'm going for. The Fate Maker gains increased damage dealt and damage reduction, lower the health. It's good for survivability, but you're going to pretty much have constant max health with this, so that's not really necessary. And Blast Gas could be good since you're going to be casting a lot of spells. There's only 20% chance for this to happen, and I'm not exactly sure how ability damage is going to work in the game, so this could be very weak or very strong. But as of now, I'm actually just going to max Dark Pact out, because I'm just trying to get down to the bottom skill tree, and then you can kind of go into whatever you really want to. But I'm going to be taking Dark Hydra. This is a kill skill, so whenever I get a kill, I'm going to summon a Dark Hydra companion. So this is going to be doing a dark magic damage as well, which again is going to return healing to you. This is a 60% chance, but the duration is 10 seconds. And honestly, their final skill tree is going to basically make the 60% chance whatever you're going to be casting them anyway, which we'll get into in a second. But then I'm going to be taking 1 point in Dread Covenant, so I can get down to the bottom. So 35% of my damage I'm taking is actually going to my Dimming Leech. This is actually going to make your Dimming Leech kind of useful other than casting that little spell. And whenever I reach 1 health, I'm going to immediately restore 75% of my maximum health, sacrificing the Dimming Leech. This is a 120-second cooldown, but this is basically just very good for survivability. You take reduced damage, and whenever you are about to die, your Dimming Leech dies for you, and you get 75% of your health back. You just have to make sure that your Dimming Leech is alive, which should be pretty easy since it's going to be casting its own spells constantly. But then finally, we have their capstone, Morhaim's Blessing. So casting a spell automatically activates all the Fate Maker's kill skills. So everything else that I just went over, obviously, literally your kill skill to get cooldown rate for your spells, kill skills to summon the Dark Hydra companions, kill skills to get the more maximum health spell damage. You're literally always going to be proccing these. So now when you actually cast a spell, you're getting your spell weaving stack from just the spell shots, passive theirself, but you're also getting Ascension to increase your spell damage because, it's proccing your kill skill on the Graveborn. And you're going to be stacking up a ton of spell damage like crazy. And you have 2 spells with the action skill you're taking. But it doesn't stop there. Once we get over to the spell shot, you're going to be able to take things like Spell Sniper if you want to gain increased critical hit chance for your spells. But honestly, I'm kind of just going for a base damage for the spell itself way more than trying to make that spell crit. So I'm going to be taking things like Prestidigitation. I think it's how you pronounce this, but you gain increased reload speed. Because if you remember, when you reload your gun, you're actually getting spell weaving stacks as well to increase your spell weaving damage. So if you have a very fast gun that can reload just instantly, you're going to be able to stack a lot of the spell weaving stacks up. And with this, it just makes that even easier. Then I'm going to be taking Font of Mana. So I'm going to gain increased spell cooldown rate and increased action skill cooldown rate. So I would imagine this is just going to obviously decrease the spell cooldowns of your action skill. That's probably why they have it like this, just because it's coded to where since you have a second spell, it's kind of, you get what I'm saying. Like, since it's technically your action skill, it's going to increase the cooldown. So basically now your spell is going to have even more cooldown rate on top of what the Graveborn is doing for you. And then I'm going to take things like Glass Cannon. So the Fate Maker's Ward no longer automatically recharges, but they gain drastically increased spell damage. So the shield for this is honestly not going to be worth it, since you're going to have a buttload of health over here for the Graveborn and regenerate a lot just with the Graveborn's passives and dark magic damage. So the ward is kind of whatever, and if drastically increasing your spell damage is by an insane amount, you're going to be able to just do a lot of damage. But to kind of combat with Glass Cannon, you can also take things like Mage Armor. So whenever you gain a stack of spell weaving, which will be all the time obviously with this build, you're going to gain a portion of that ward. So basically casting your spells, you're doing an insane amount of damage, and you're getting your shield filled now, you're getting your health filled. Everything is getting refilled when you cast a spell. And then you have 2 points left over, which you can kind of throw in anything. So if you want to come back over to the Graveborn and just take their 1-point skills, so your Dimming Leech has a chance to cast their spell 2 times, you can. Or if you want to have this just for a little bit of damage reduction, so if you ever do get weak, you can as well, which could be good. Or if you just want to take things like Moral Vessel, so you get more maximum health and dark magic efficiency, you can as well to make your dark magic even better. And honestly, I'm just going to put it in that. Depending on how strong these skills are, I might end up taking those 2 points out and putting it in these, because I mean, Lord of Edges obviously is just going to be good because it's just a passive damage dealt and damage reduction. Depending on how low your health is. But with this build, I don't think your health is ever going to be too low to take a huge amount of effect of this. But just to run down everything again, whenever you cast a spell, you're proccing all your kill skills now, and you're getting a stack of spell weaving. Spell weaving is going to increase your spell damage, and then since you're proccing all your kill skills, you're also going to have increased spell damage and maximum health with Ascension right here. You're going to be summoning Dark Hydra companions to heal you and do even more damage. All your dark magic is going to just be 20% more effective, alongside all your spells doing additional dark magic damage, which is really good. You're going to be tanky just with all the healing and shields you're getting every time you cast a spell. And even if you ever do get super weak, Dread Covenant right here is going to bring you back to life. Then you just have to obviously remember to revive your companion. And then the cooldown you're going to be getting with things like Essence Drain alongside Font of Mana, you're going to be able to cast skills like crazy. Then just as an added little bonus, you'll have increased reload speed as well, just if you want to get some more spell weaving stacks up. And this is the level 40 build I'm going for when the game finally launches. I'm very excited to see how this is going to work out. There's going to honestly be a lot of crazy combinations that you can do literally with a bunch of just multi-class things. And then you also have things like, you know, your hero stats, which I'm 100% going to be focusing all in intelligence, because I want to get as much spell cooldown rate as possible, because I just want to spam spells everywhere. I want to get all these spell weaving stacks up. I want to do all this elemental damage. I'm very excited for this. But like I said, this is for sure the build I'm going in when the game launches. I cannot wait to show it off to you guys. I'm sure there's going to be some crazy armor that synergizes with this, and you're just going to be able to just destroy everything. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. If you guys did enjoy this and would like to see more theory crafted builds before Wonderlands launches, be sure to let me know. Let me know exactly what character you would like to see. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.